Hey everybody, hey Chef Alton, hey Jess. How are y'all doing? Let me just make sure I've handled this stuff. Yeah, cool. Okay. So where we left off this morning was I had designed this, which is really just a set of buttons. So now we need to code this. We already have everything except for the stuff that looks clearly like a mock-up. So the stuff on the left and the stuff on the right. And it's not like these UIs are difficult to do. It's a set of buttons and a set of buttons. The difficult part is going to be connecting them properly in the game and make sure they show up correctly and that they save and load correctly, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we're going to work on. Let's write context and the tasks themselves. Make sure this saves / loads correctly. And we just need to code each individual thing. So what do we have here? Hire adventurer, quest, buildings, hints. Hire adventurer, quest, building, hints. Hire adventurer, quest, buildings, hints. All right, now I'll activate ghost text on this and we'll type it out. What just happened? That was weird. Okay. Make the button. Cool. That was it. I just want to use multiple cursors for that. That way we got that working. Screen is frozen. It's probably frozen. Yes. Sorry about that. There we go. Now it is fixed. My bad, my bad. Thanks for letting me know. I will give you a point for that. All right, yeah, what I was showing here was I just made these tasks. I typed out the context and everything. Apologies. That does happen every once in a while. I'm not even sure why it happens. Yeah, you now have a point. I haven't looked at this leaderboard in a long time. Let me take a look at it really fast. So I don't keep track of how many total names there are here. But I guess if we divide this by 3, we have 184 names. That's probably accurate. Yeah. Man. Crazy. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else to do here, so I guess let's just get started. I'll make a new branch. So many backseaters. Hey, Darkstorm. I don't know what happened here. Let me try this again. Edit. And then merge my branch, switch to main. All right, git checkout -b. What are we calling this? Actionable items. Okay, run a new branch. Now let's go start working. So hire adventurer button, that's in the town menu. We're gonna just open up this, close other tabs. Get rid of that. All right, I don't think the order really matters, but I do want this to be in between these two things right now. So let's do this, toggle hire adventurer button. That's not what this should be called. It should just be the hire adventurer button. Good. Good. Now let's delete that. Actually, we could, well, this doesn't really matter. We could repurpose it. Hire adventurer button. Let's go pull that thing in. Hey, it got the percent sign. It doesn't usually do that. AI is getting smarter. All right, now when you press this button, for now, we're just going to say print you clicked the button. Because I need to think about this for a little bit, but we need to hide this from the get-go. And then something needs to show this. And it is when you have an adventurer available for hire, which how will we know that? I mean, I guess through the town having a signal. How does the guildmaster know it? Yeah, I guess the guildmaster needs to know it. So town dot updated adventurer available for hire. Hey, Tobias. I'm doing well. Good to see you again. I was gonna say, I think I saw one message from you in the morning. I guess when you hire an adventurer, we could check it then. And we know that you're going to have to hire at least one. Yeah, maybe we could just do it there. No, that's not true. We can't. Because it's also when you beat an instance. All right, fine. So let's do a plus equal here and do is available, and then set the button state correctly. Not disabled. Visible is equal to if it's available. Also, if it's available, it should probably always be green. No. It's only when you have enough money. Yeah, let's add a task for that then. Highlight it green only when you have enough money. Make sure it turns white again after you don't have enough money, or when your money drops below the cost. So, yeah. We need to go make this signal updated available skill point. So we'll do public event action bool. So what causes this to happen? Hiring an adventurer may make the next one unavailable, and beating an elite may make the next one available. So we got to handle both those cases. So hiring one, let's look at hire. Add adventurer, hired adventurer.invoke. This needs to be invoked correctly. All right, let's just make a function for here. And we'll put this at the bottom. Update adventurer available for hire. So we eventually need to invoke this with something is available. We don't have that yet. But before I forget, let's also make this work for when you beat an elite instance for the first time. Here it is. So we call that. Good. Except for I made the name wrong. Oh no, I just forgot the void. Okay, now how do we figure out how many adventurers there are? The guildmaster does this. I don't know how. Pay to hire. Pay to hire. There it is. Somewhere in here. Get next classes to offer. There it is. There it is. Okay, let's just get that. So that's classes to offer, and is available is equal to whether there are any of them. Cool, that's it. All right, I think that's all we need to do. Let's try that out. So now whenever there's an available adventurer, we're going to show this button, hire adventurer. It's not going to do anything yet. And we need to know the cost of it eventually too. That should all be doable. Oh, it just says adventurers twice. Whoops. That's an easy thing to fix. We just call this hire adventurer. Good. It's not going to change immediately. Clicking this should do nothing. Well, it shouldn't do nothing. It should just say you clicked the button, which is basically doing nothing. And then when we do hire the adventurer, that button should go away. So I'm going to click hire here. We should see it disappear. Well, maybe once I click this. Yeah, then it goes away. Maybe it should be... I have to think about that. I don't know what I want to do about that. See what we should do about the button disappearing as soon as you've paid for the new adventurer, rather than once you've created them. Also, see what happens when you click the button again after you've paid but before you hired them. I expect this button to be available in the adventures. I wanted you to be able to see at a glance that you could do this. So think about this. When you have a skill point, this is going to turn green. So green in this case means you have a skill point. And you might be like, oh, yeah, the rogue has a skill point. I don't really care. We would also need to somehow indicate you can get a new adventurer. I think it should maybe also be in this UI, but I don't know if it should only be in this UI, because I think hiring an adventurer is such an important thing that perhaps we should always show it here. I'm not sure though. And part of what I'm doing here is just trying to get this ready for Saturday. We'll get more feedback from people eventually, and they might be like, oh, I didn't see the button here, or I would have expected it to be here, or something like that. And then we can always make changes. Because just having this be available in this panel means it should be easy to put somewhere else. So now what we have to do is we need to beat another location. So we need money for that. Let's get the money. Let's go over to here. Let's fight this battle and let's force a win. And when we force a win, we should see that button pop up again. So let's try this out. It's taking its sweet time getting over there. All right, there. Yes, it popped up again. And now clicking this should do the whole, you click the button. Yeah. Also, I realized we have the wrong tooltip for this. Tooltip is hire another adventurer. Do we even need a tooltip for this button? Does the town perks one have a tooltip? Oh, it does, and it's the wrong tooltip. Oh wait, no, maybe it's not. Hang on, I just had two things selected. No, it does not have the wrong tooltip. Oh wait, it says assign skill points. Buy perks to improve your town. Yeah, there. All right, I'm gonna put a tooltip on this, but I don't really think it's necessary. Hire another adventurer to do battle. Hire another adventurer. I'll just, yeah. I don't like that. I don't like the phrasing. Tooltip, view adventure information, buy perks, hire another adventurer. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, fine. What do you think about changing this menu into a horizontal one with icons instead of tooltips, money being first? Yeah, I think we could do that. I think it's a consideration. I don't know about the horizontal or vertical bit. I don't know what people would prefer. But yeah, I think we should definitely consider that. And I'll write that we should... I'll just write it in here. File a task to consider icons for the town menu. And tooltip on parent to show what the icons do. Rather than buttons with text. Keep in mind that we still want to be able to highlight the icons to indicate that there's an action. But perhaps we can find another way to do that too. Okay, so this worked. The button doesn't work, and what else? I think it's just the button doesn't work. And if we, do I still have the game running? Yeah, if I hire these two adventurers, it should go away. So the adventurers button is there. I click hire again, give it one more second. There we go. And now I click hire here and it disappears. Perfect. Okay, so I think the existence of the button is working. Now we need two other parts. We need to highlight it green only when you have enough money. So let's go do that. That is whenever you update the money. Town.money changed plus equal money changed. Okay, go make this. This can go down at the bottom. Long money. So if the hire adventurer button is visible, then it's not disabled. It's modulate that we want to do. Modulate equals, we need to know what the cost of the adventurer is. How do we get that? Pay to hire must know. Cost. There it is. Oh, wow, that's easy. Okie dokie. Good. What is it? Get cost of next adventure. So as long as you have enough, we want to do this. But what, we don't have the town? No, we do have the town. Why is this not working then? Oh, because I never actually set it to a color. So if it is enough, then we set it to green. Light green. Otherwise, we set it to white. Perfect. All right, and then the last thing, we're going to go test it now. So let's try this out. So now the button is going to be visible as long as you can hire an adventurer. It's going to be green if you have enough money to hire the adventurer. So basically, green buttons are things where you can take action. It's going to look a little wonky at first. This is wrong because we don't ever update this at first, and we should. We need to call money changed town.money. Yeah. So it should be green right off the bat. It's not. Why is it not? What did I do wrong? Money is greater than or equal to town.get cost of next adventure. Set it to light green. I did that for this too, huh? Huh. Oh, because it's not visible at first. Oh, clever. Okay, so we just shouldn't even do this. Yeah, there. I need to learn how to sit in a chair and not just lean all the way back sometimes. Oh, you know what? I have a I forgot this chair could even do this. It has a lean forward mode. Yeah. There we go. This still isn't green. What could I possibly be doing wrong? This gets initialized, I guess, before money is set. All right, fine. We'll get there. We will get there. Town menu. Yeah, here it is. Menu.init. The menu gets initialized, what, early on? Before we've even set how much money you have, because we don't do the tutorial stuff. If the button is just hidden, can you focus it with tab? You shouldn't be able to, no. For example, we don't have the town perks button right now. Yeah, the town perks button is there, but it's hidden, and we can't tab to select it. But as soon as we show it, now we can tab to select it. I would expect Godot to handle that instead of us having to handle that. Okay, well, there are a couple things we could do here. What should be... We could just call money change when you skip the tutorial. Because this shouldn't be a problem for the main game. Right, because something is... Wait, what's going on here? Something is giving us money? No, something doesn't have money to begin with. I don't actually know what's happening. What's giving us 100 money? Our money starts at 100? Ah, that's what. Okay. Yeah, so it's not running through money changed. Okay, you know what? I think there's a slightly nicer way of doing this. I think what we can do is we can just call modify money 0. This is kind of a weird thing to do here. Yeah. Ensure that anything listening for how much money we have is updated properly with the starting amount. I guess that's really only in start game. In which case we could actually just do this there. Yeah. Which means now we can get rid of this. We can put this back to what it was. And everything should work. I hope. No, this is a little bit dumb. We should just modify it even if it's not visible. It did happen to work. Hire Adventure is now green. And if we instead were to spend all our money on this, it now turns white because we don't have enough money to get it. It costs 75. But if we were to sell an item, let's just drag stuff here until we get 75. This is going to take us a while. These are not very valuable items. Two more, one more. Done. Okay. Hire Adventure is now green. Cool. And if we build again, yeah, it goes away. Nice. All right, so this is done. Now this is what we need to figure out. So what feels best here? We click the button. Well, we need to actually make the button do something. I forgot about that. Make the button open the Guildmaster dialog. So when you click hire, now this button wouldn't do anything anymore. Yeah, we need this to be to open hire adventure dialog. Generate property, no generate function. Oh, whoops. All right, how do we do this? I don't think we can get the Guildmaster. The Guildmaster has a way of doing this, though. Pay to hire adventurer. It has a show dialogue function, which is private. But it's as soon as it enters this state. We don't know what state they're in, though. We could emit a signal from here. I mean, I think that's the proper way to do this. Probably emit a signal from here that the Guildmaster listens to. So they'd be in the standby state. And they have something that when this is clicked, they could have something when the town emits a signal. Hey Matt, other classes do this too. I forgot what. One of the Guildmaster ones, I think. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Not that one. Okay, none of these. Maybe it's the Enchanter? Or maybe, does something else have... Huh, weird. Player use start battle button. What calls this? What? Why is this there? This is not smart. Oh, yeah, this is not smart. I don't think it should have been here. Square webhook API. Need to write tests for the endpoint filters and middleware and very little logic. But I'd rather just like not. So here, why not ask AI to do it? Okay, this is bizarre. Somewhere in the state machine handling logic, though, we must have this. So if I just copy active path of file and then cd into that directory and then search for town, we should find it. Gotta be here somewhere. There it is. Pay to hire adventurer. How did I miss that? I looked at that. Huh. Yeah, there it is. Money changed. And that's in ready. And then we don't do anything about this. We don't ever delete this. It sucks at writing tests. Well, that's too bad. Why don't you get a regular eye to make it? Just an intelligence. Why don't you use your eye? Subscriber subscription? If the subscriber, the thing calling plus equals outlives the publisher, then you don't have to do anything. It doesn't. Oh, the states are only ever created once. Oh, man. Okay, fine. Hey, Chronic. All right, well, here's what I'm thinking then. In standby, we listen for some event. I don't know what yet. Can we get the town menu from here? I think this is a little funky. No, we can't. Happy New Year's Eve, Eve. You say Eve another 365 times, we could do it for next year too. All right, well, we have two options here. Make town menu public and have Guildmaster listen to that, or add an event to town and forward the one from town menu. Hey, Ferret, been a bit. Thanks for the 14 months. Yeah, the holidays went well. How have you been? How are your holidays? You were last here on July 31st. Welcome back. Hope your entire rest of summer and all of fall was good. Most of my personal projects, I only write tests for very specific things. I think people might not really fully understand the reasons for tests sometimes. I'm not saying you fall in this category, Chronic, but I think a lot of people come in and just say like, oh, all code should be tested. A lot of code will never see the light of day because the product gets canned for whatever reason. So the way I kind of look at it is if your product has customers or clients, then it should probably have tests. If it doesn't, then it's up to you. Whatever you think is going to speed up development. But I think verifying that your product works is more important than writing tests. Because if you have a product and you've got, let's say, whatever, 10,000 customers or something, then clearly you got that product in their hands without the test. Maybe you won't be able to iterate quickly in the future. Maybe you'll lose their data or something. Who knows? A whole bunch of things go wrong. That's when you should probably be adding tests. But if you don't even have customers or clients, then it's like, you should probably focus on your product. Last, hey Crows, thanks for the resub. Crows, is this playing out one of the 6-month long resubs? I think you were one of the people who did that. Yeah, not impacting live customers or things. I think there are exceptions sometimes, of course, but I generally think they're few and far between. Like if working with your own code, you know it to be buggy and you're like, I don't know how to stop these bugs. I think tests would really help. But then you're essentially the customer and you're the one who's been bitten by it. That's what I think makes it valuable. Busy, but overall good. Work picked up, so didn't really have much time to hop on during the work days. That's totally fine. Yeah, I'm glad that it's been good though. I think there is good busy and there's bad busy. And bad busy is when you're overwhelmed and you feel stressed and there's just too much going on. And good busy is when there's too much going on and you're like, I'm excited for all of it. And I like what's going on. I like my life. And I've had both before. And I definitely prefer good busy. Hey Walrus, we implement component level tests and skip unit level tests. Helps with sanity checks of the overall system without needing to worry about minutia of coverage percent. If that makes sense. It makes sense, yeah. Also, when you say we, it makes it sound like there is a team and you've evaluated this. In general, like I said, if I were to just kind of list out my thoughts, is you don't need tests as much if you don't have clients. And if you do have clients, you should be testing at least something. And the more clients you have, the more you should be testing. Because otherwise you're going to probably introduce more bugs than you'll fix. And you won't have a good culture, software development culture around catching any of the bugs. Yeah, I generally think it's a good policy. When you find a bug, write a test for it. Make sure it doesn't regress in the future. And I think sometimes it's tough. And I think there's just always a lot of different things pulling you in different directions, including just career trajectory for people. Like writing tests is typically not a career enabler for people at a certain level. So they're like, oh, I'll just skip it and let someone else handle it. I think it's bad culture. Anyway, these are the two things. This one is definitely easier. I'm going to do this. I don't think it's a big deal. Public menu. We need the, whoop, just happened. Did I? Yeah, okay. Private set. So that goes like this. Then we rename this to just menu. And then the guildmaster listens for it in its standby state. So town.menu. And now we need something here. I don't know what. Show dialogue? Or like, yeah, show pay for adventurer dialogue. Actually, we could just omit the clicked event, right? No, I don't think that's smart. Town.menu.clicked hire adventurer. How about that? That's unambiguous. Done. And now what is this called? How do you get the town? Oh, you pass it in? So the guildmaster must have a way of passing. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So we'll just put that there. And then here we get town in the standby state. Yay. All right, now we just need this to exist. So in the town menu, we get that. And then instead of saying clicked whatever, where is that? Here. We just do that. Done. Let's try it. Don't need to test that invoking an AWS Lambda function works because it's AWS's responsibility. Yeah. Yeah, I think if a company gets big enough, like I imagine Netflix is probably testing something like that maybe. They do all the chaos engineering stuff, and probably knowing exactly where these failures are is good. But also, I find the whole if you have a bug, write a test for it, at least then you know it's driven by need. Like, yes, customers hit this, and yes, it was a bug, and now we don't want new customers to hit this. All right, so if I click this button, it should pop up a dialog. It did. If I click it again, what happens? Okay, it keeps popping up the same one. So if I hit maybe later, okay, cool. So that's all working. I click higher now, and now what happens? Now nothing happens. Which means maybe we should disable the button. And then when you actually do click higher over here, it would just disappear completely. It would need to get re-enabled though too, but I think that's how I would expect this to work. Let's see that one more time. We click higher. I think it would get disabled as long as this is open. Or as long as this is open. I wish we could change sound into a singleton. I think that's bad coding though, Dark. Like I said, I don't think it necessarily matters if you have other towns in the future or not. It's like, what happens if you want to write a test for this in the future? Should you have to create an entire town for it? I don't think it's a good idea. We have an interface we control like I2 adapter that calls square. I like to implement a fake I2 adapter. Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah. You know, I think the interesting thing here is one of the things that a coworker of mine said when I was working at Android Studio is, let's say there's a 1% chance of failure for anything in an application. And let's say you have like 60 of these 1% failures. They're all very slim on their own, but when you add all these together, the chance of hitting at least one failure is practically guaranteed. And it's a bad experience for a customer when that happens. So you shouldn't just look at failure rates necessarily. It should be look at how many customers you have, what's the impact of the failure, how many failures are people hitting, at what point is it just death by 1,000 cuts. What happens when you're in the higher window there and click on adventures? So yeah, that's what I want to, oh wait, oh, you're saying this one? This is a different dialogue. So this will just pop up on top. But this I'm saying I think we should disable and then re-enable. I think that's the best idea. This part's done. We should probably disable the button while one of the higher dialogues is open. Then we should re-enable it when they're closed, even if the button is hidden. Okay, so how do we do that? So as soon as you click it, it's going to disable itself. So I guess it can know how to do that. So clicked higher adventure dot disabled. Oh, whoops, not that. Sorry. Higher adventure button dot disabled equals true. All right, now we need to re-enable it, and we do that when you either say maybe later to that one dialogue, or you close the second dialogue. So in either one of those, it's going to be leaving this state or leaving this state. We won't know for sure. I guess just whenever they re-enter standby is when we enable that button. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, we have access to the town menu here. We could just do something like this. Town.menu.set button enabled. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna call this testeroni for right now. I just want to see that this works and that this is what we want. But this is not the way we should code this. So I'm gonna probably replace this with a signal. Public void testeroni. And then put this up there. All right. Yeah, let's try this out. Man, the build process takes a while. Okay, so as soon as I click this, it should be disabled. Still green because you still have enough money. If I hit maybe later, it should get re-enabled. Good. But now if I click higher, it'll stay disabled. And now it's actually going to go invisible. But when I really need to make this easier. The only way to actually beat the boss is go over here, start the battle, and then click win. All right, now Hire Adventurer is back and enabled, but it's not green because I don't have enough money. So clicking higher. What? We don't check to make sure you have enough money? I'm at negative 85. Ooh, that's a big bug. All right, hiring an adventurer is possible with a loan. That is not okay. I went to negative 85 money. I don't think I've ever seen that. Can I repro that without having to do what I just did? Yeah, so hire adventurer, 75, hire is enabled. Yeah, I went to negative 5. Wow. Well, that's a problem. Button shouldn't even be enabled if you don't have the money. I'll look at that later, though. I mean, that could be considered a feature. It wouldn't be game breaking. Your money can clearly go negative. You just can't buy anything, hopefully. Yeah, you can't build anything. And when you do get enough money, so like if I can't build this now, so I have to wait for something to sell. All right, let's put this over there. It should just go positive and there shouldn't be any problem. Well, it's trying to. Go buy the item. Make me whole again. Okay, there. Yeah, well, I ended up with all the item. Did the slime go away? It didn't. I just couldn't afford the 1 gold cost because I had negative 5. It'll probably never happen to anybody that they can't afford 1 gold in this game. But I couldn't. So this is done. Next. Oh yeah, next is getting rid of the testeroni thing. Need a t-shirt with a slime. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I'm gonna write that down. I could. I was thinking if we wanted to target the younger crowd, we could have some like cheesy thing on the t-shirt, like "You're not garbage to me." Beat me trash. All right, getting too warm. Yeah, I love trash. One man's trash is all I want. All right, so the right way to do this would be to have the town menu listening on when the guildmaster enters this state. And we could emit a signal from here. Oh, the guild, I guess the guildmaster doesn't know that it's changed states. Does the state machine? Maybe? No. Oh man, it has this. Change state event handler. Okay, where's that go? Adventurer has it. Oh my god, what is this? New state name. We didn't even read that. What is this? Yeah, I guess we need to do something like this. It's a little bit weird. It'll work. It'll work just fine. Yeah. All right, just change states, make this function. Oh, what's bad about this is that um we have some logic inside. Hang on a second. Stand by. We have some logic inside here that I guess we wouldn't need anymore. I don't know. Let's code this too, and let's just see what it looks like. So if new state name equals name of standby, then we could do this here. This is still bad. What we need to do is have a listener for this. So the town would listen to this. I'm happier with this here. I hardly changed anything though, which kind of makes me wonder, was this bad? I mean, here we're directly listening to the town menu. Why would it be so bad to just call into it? I guess because really all we should be listening to is the town. Just debating on what's the cleanest. And I don't think this is clean. I think putting it back how it was is best. All right. Well, I had to look at it. Town. Yeah. Now we just rename this from Testeroni to... Wait, what? It gave me a thing. Enable hire button. Cool. All right. I'm happy with that. And that was everything, right? Well, everything except for that one bug, which I will fix right after this. I do think this is going to help out quite a lot. So what I want to do is test without the tutorial being skipped. Because yeah, this looks like it's good. It gets disabled properly. I like that. You click hire. It goes away. That's all great. But now, what if we don't skip the tutorial? So now what it'll do is, I think I'm going to see that button in the UI. And I guess clicking it isn't really a problem. But does it show right off the bat? It doesn't show here because I don't have the guild. So I build the guild and then what? I don't understand why it's not showing there. Oh, because they're not in the standby state, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I click hire. It's still not there. I click hire. And now hire adventurer is there. This can't actually show up yet. I think we need to hide this until you're done with the tutorial. Yeah, I think we need that to be the case. Let's figure that out. We set its visibility here. It is available. And we want it to be the town dot can adventurers pick up items. Which is basically our you're done with the tutorial thing. Is that what this says? Yeah. Yeah. Then there we go. So now this won't show up unless... Oh, but then once the tutorial's done, we'll never update this thing. Oh. Drat. All right, well, where do we set this? Is there like a finished tutorial? There isn't. I should just admit that. Hey, Trackley. What journey so far? Last day tomorrow. Getting old. Yeah. I watched Marquez Brownlee's 2024 video summing up his whole year. He did quite a lot. And I thought, should I do something like this? And then I thought, all I've really done is develop Skeleseller. Like, did I work on anything all that notable in the beginning of the year? I don't think so. Thankfully, we have a journal. So beginning of 2024 was Abbott. We did some Jump Royale stuff, Code Jam, some learnings, and then we got into game design. Yeah, the vast majority of this year was game design and development, and the vast majority of that was Skeleseller. And I don't think it'd be worth showing a video of that. So there is shop on acquired item. I kind of want to make something like has completed tutorial invoke. Yeah, I think things should be listening for this. Does anything else listen for unacquired item? No, nothing else does. I'm surprised. This is strange. Haven't made or created too much. Done a few things. I guess nobody cares that I had a kid and bought a nice house. We care, and congratulations. Just have a slideshow of Skeleseller screenshots. I think people like seeing the evolution of a game. I think it'd be cool to say like, hey, the game is launched. We've come a really long way. Here's a quick time lapse of it. But I'm making vlogs now every checkpoint. And I think that can serve as our time capsule. How have those videos even been doing? Why does my thing not show up when you search for this? What's going on? Okay, so you can either find the live streams or you can find, yeah, here it is, devlog game improvements. Yeah, they're not doing great. I mean, 300 something views. I don't have a lot of subscribers or anything, but it would have been nice if those had like caught on to an audience who says, oh yeah, vlog for a game, let me follow this. I do wonder how many people are returning viewers for that stuff. And I know YouTube has analytics, but still, I don't know how I'd reach more people with that. Probably just make better videos. All right. So we're going to put this here. And then the town menu has to listen for that. We need to know both of these things though. This is update whether this thing is available. I guess as soon as you complete the tutorial, we can know that you need to show the button. Acquired item set to true. Hang on a second. Hang on. This gets called always. We need to do this only if this was false. Yeah, otherwise we're going to be in trouble. And something should set this to true when you load the game. Yes. Good. So when you've completed the tutorial, as completed tutorial, let's just do this. This is going to be a mess if I don't do this sort of thing. So as soon as you've completed it, just set this thing to visible. Hire adventure button dot show. There's no condition here because we know that at the time of completing the tutorial, there will be a second adventurer to hire. Could you have hired them? Couldn't have made money. We don't technically, we could just search. Hang on a second. This has access to the town, so we could just do this. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get rid of this. Oh man. All right. This sure is something. So we can delete this. Put this here, is available. If is available. And I guess you've completed the tutorial. town.can adventure pickup items, then show it. And that's the thing. Is visible equals that. Visible equals is visible. Okay, great. And then this has to be the town. So now the problem is this is in the wrong function. This is going to be update hire adventurer button visibility. And put all this stuff in here. And when you completed the tutorial, we call update on that. Which means now we don't need a special function for that. Just put this over here. Except for not there. I'm just clicking random stuff. And then same thing with this. All right. Remember this Danish guy who created a game with HTML, CSS, and Electron? Started watching Adam and became a full stack web dev myself. It's weird how two guys on Twitch turned my life around. It is funny how this works. I think some people take offense to the term influencer, but I think it's kind of a compliment to mean that someone either watches you enough or respects you enough to be influenced by you. And again, I was watching that Marcus Brownlee video. He's got, I don't know how many subscribers on YouTube, like 10 million plus. It's probably even higher than like 15 million. But he made a couple of videos that made him start to question how much responsibility does he have. Like if you post a poor product review and you have 15 million YouTube subscribers, that product might die. And like, what if it wasn't such a bad product? Or what if they had plans to make it better and they just lost that opportunity or something? And I'm not trying to say he made a mistake or he did something well, just that he has that responsibility. And I think we all do to some extent, even if we only influence the quote unquote normal amount of people, you know, somewhere on the order of like 1 to 500 people. And that's probably the level of influence most people have in their lives. I still think there's responsibility. Just pushed until I got an intern job for 6 months. 3 months they hired me. Quick learner. When I left you. Anyway, congrats. I think it's interesting to see how your trajectory might have been if you hadn't watched Twitch. Who knows where you would have ended up? Maybe things would have been better. Maybe they would have been worse. Maybe they would have been exactly the same. You would have still found that same path there. I don't know. And these are the things you can never know because you can never go back and do your life over for a second time. Always kind of makes me wonder what would have happened with Botland if I hadn't streamed it. I think it would have done even worse. I also think I would have gone insane. Let's try running this. So this button should only show up once you have done the tutorial. So we're going to go do this. We're going to cut some corners, but we're going to otherwise do it. I wonder if anything else should listen for completing this tutorial. Look around, build guild. Okay, so there's no button up here yet. We click build, still no button, still no button, still no button. This is all working totally fine. We complete the battle, we get an item, we click look around, we go build the potion shop. Now we have an adventurer's button, but no hire button. That's not correct. Yeah, something broke. Oh, there's the thing that broke. Town menu dot ready, not set. Did I call this too soon? No. What is failing here? Line 56. Money change town dot money. Whoops. Yeah, whoops. That was already happening though. Higher adventure button visibility. Can't we just check whenever the money changes? Hey, Spider. Influencing to Voyager keyboards and similar to corn. Now my messages take 1 to 2 business days for processing. I know that feeling. Boy, do I know that feeling. All right, I am not sure why that button didn't show up. I'm guessing it didn't emit the event, or I'm not listening to it correctly, or some other thing went wrong. But let's start with the first one. So has completed tutorial. Is this getting called? Put a breakpoint here. Oh, wait, it's only called when you put the item in a shop, I think. Not actually sure how that works. We're just gonna do the same thing again though. I mean, it doesn't take that long. There. Okay, now they need to put the item there, and then I think it'll break in. Oh, did the item disappear? Maybe they didn't have enough time to get to it. I'm not sure. All right, it did break in. Cool. We also have a problem here still, which I am very surprised about. Where's that coming from? Did I not restart this? This indicates that I did not restart this. And yet, no, I forgot to restart it. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Whatever. Now we put a breakpoint here, and it should get hit. Oh, I can't because I changed the code. All right, let's try this again. How do you like the Voyager, Chef Alton? It looks super cool. I don't know how I feel about missing an extra thumb button. I guess you gain a bunch of extra buttons, but I like the extra thumb key I have. All right, hopefully this is the last time I have to do this. This is gonna get called all over the place, so let's just ignore that for now. Start battle, do that, do that, do that. Oh, wait a second. Oh my God, you can lose the first item. Oh, that's a bug. Your worker doesn't start moving until you've built the alchemist, I think, which means that you can lose the first item you get if you delay building the alchemist. I'm getting there, but liking it. Just had to stick with it long enough. I had an Ergodox years ago and ended up giving up on it. Yeah, same on the Ergodox front. I think you really need to commit to learning the new style. For those who haven't seen this, by the way, this is what the keyboard looks like that Chef Alton's talking about. It's pretty similar to mine. Mine has 3 thumb buttons, and mine doesn't have this column or this row. Yeah. So mine is a much smaller keyboard, but with an extra thumb button. I think this looks super cool. Yeah. Looks awesome. Okay, well, I goofed. So I guess we just need to acquire any item. And then maybe the button will show up. Just put this here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it breaks into this. All right, so what do we have? Is available, is true, is visible, is false. Oh, I see. I see. I got to do it in this order. There. Okay, done. All right, I think that'll fix everything. Let's try it out. Man, I'm finding a couple of small bugs here. Like that wouldn't soft lock you, having the item disappear. You would just run the battle again, but it would be confusing. And the whole point of a tutorial is to clarify, not to confuse. I'm going to do this hopefully for the last time. Please tell me I don't need to do this again. Oh, interesting. You click start battle. That's a bug in my opinion. What am I having this battle play out for? All right, now we do that. Should be able to get the item. Should be able to go over there, and then the button should appear. Perfect. So I can click it, and this should be disabled. Yeah, cool. $365. Yeah, I know. It's very expensive. It's the same price as the Moonlander. We get fewer keys. Okay, so bug. You can click start battle after starting your tutorial battle, and it'll pop up the map. I don't think new players would expect the button to even be visible. Maybe we just ignore this. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that one. But the rest of this is looking fine. So let's check this in. Same price as the Moonlander, fewer keys. Well, the corn is cheaper. The corn is at least half off. But the Voyager is the same price. All right, so we're done with this. Check it in. Check it in. Looks good. Oh, we also fixed this tooltip, which is technically its own commit. Fine. Fix, copy, pasted. Whoa, wait. Not copy, pasted. It just said the wrong text, right? Fix tooltip referencing scale points. Those things are out of here. All right, now for the actual commit. Stand by. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, actually, we probably should use this in some other spot. Yeah, I'll write a note about this. See if we should use this from another spot in the code base. Tempted to get it. I'm afraid I'll never get used to it. That one looks like a normal keyboard, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, no. Well, I guess this part looks like a normal keyboard. But the part I was thinking about when I said normal keyboard is that it has like a shift key there. I guess that's the only thing. I guess there's a function key, but you probably wouldn't use it like that. Yeah, this is very similar in appearance, very similar in function to the Ergodox, very different in appearance. But if you look at the Ergodox keyboard, it's the same basic structure. They've got pretty much the same thumb cluster. Yeah. The thumb clusters scare me. Yeah, it does take some getting used to. Also, for what it's worth, after having used this keyboard and using the one that I have now, I just prefer the one that I have now. I think this is too many thumb keys. And I know you could just not use them all, but yeah, I think it's too much. Probably comfy to type on, though. What did I just say? Oh, yeah. Right, so we have not looked through everything yet. We're still working our way through here. Revert that. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Yeah, cool. Right now the town menu had quite a lot changing here. Okay, yeah. And standby changed slightly. It's just, it still strikes me as a weird idea that this is happening. Okay, so add hire adventurer button to town menu. This only shows up when you have an adventurer available for hire, and it turns green only when you have enough money. While navigating the dialogues to hire an adventurer, the button is disabled. Okay, well, I think this is a good time to take a break, and then I want to fix these things, and then I want to get back to this stuff. And hopefully, well, the quest one I think should be pretty fast. The buildings one is going to take the longest, and the hints one, there's just a lot of logic to figure out when to show the hints. And like I said, I don't think we're going to get this done today, but so far progress is good. So I will be right back. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Oh, there were multiple players. Good job, Darkstorm. All right, close the game. Yeah, so time to pick up these things. So hiring an adventurer is possible with a loan. That is the pay to hire adventurer dialogue. Yeah. And this should know how to handle, yeah, money change. Pay to hire adventurer dialogue is null. Is this getting called? It should be. How do we test this? Just go to the title screen and come back. Oh, no, we can't because we're in the tutorial. Yeah, we're in the tutorial. Okay, let's skip the tutorial. Fell to my death early on. It's not an excuse. Should have gotten better at blind jumping. Instead of saying that blind jumping is not the way to go. When you type join near the end of the game with 2 people, you'll get 3rd place. Yeah. I don't actually think that's a bug. What I'm debating if, let's say, it regularly only had 2 or 3 people playing. I don't even know if it's worth showing that or if I should just have like a regular BRB screen. I think this was the risk of having any stream-based games, is that eventually the people who wanted to play will have played, and there's only like a 1-minute catch-up window for Jump Royale as it is. That got called twice. The dialogue's not showing though. The dialogue is showing. Oh. When you open this, it has to show and it doesn't. Okay, I see what's going on. So if our money were to drop below 75, I think it would. Oh, but it can't drop below 75 unless we use the town perks. Aha. That's the only way. So now we need to get a tiny amount of money. So let's go finish this battle. There's 1 potion. I need 1 more. There. Okay, so we need to get to 75. Actually, getting any amount of money, even that 3 gold should make this be disabled. Come on, come on. Yes, it is. Okay, I know what's going on. I want to see this one more time though, because it looked like this got called something like 4 times, and it definitely shouldn't be. So first call stack is here. This is 1. Now I hit the play button. This is 2. Now I hit the play button again. This is 3. This is 4. Definitely seems wrong. Yeah, so I got hit 4 times. So are these 4 unique things here? Pay to hire adventurer, money changed. Called from set money, called from modify money. I don't care about this. I mean to say is I don't care about the new breakpoint being hit. Just get rid of this. Okay. Pathfind is finding it. Emit reach target in the target item source. It calls reach target, which calls buy the item. This is really bad. Wow. Yeah, that means that multiple things are listening to this. How many times do we subscribe to this event? Looks like money changed. What is this even? Pay to hire adventurer? I have to sneeze. I took too long trying to mute the mic that I didn't have to sneeze anymore. All right. It looks like this is being called 4 times. Still don't know how that's possible. Are we subscribing multiple times? If I see this print out 4 times, then there's an obvious problem or an obvious cause. If not, then we have some digging to do because it's the same call stack all 4 times. It subscribed twice. Does it subscribe every time you click it? No. I don't even know why it's being called twice, though. I click higher, does it show up? No. Huh. Why even twice? I didn't load. Pay to hire adventurer should only be used in one spot. Yeah, here. New pay to hire adventurer. That's the only place. And we only have one guild master, right? Well, I guess that's why we have breakpoints. Let's go find out. So we subscribe once. Copy call stack. 1 is there. And the second time is there. So now we have 2 subscriptions. Are the subscriptions from before getting hit as well? So if I click grant money, max money reached. I guess we just need to spend some money then. Oh, I got rid of the breakpoint. Oh God. Where's money changed? Here it is. 1, 2, through, nope, just 2. Why did it get hit 4 times then? Well, still, why is it getting hit twice? Even that shouldn't be the case. These are different. Oh, pay to hire first adventurer uses pay to hire adventurer? Oh, then that's fine. I don't know why I was getting called 4 times though. That doesn't make any sense. How could that happen? It was the same call stack every time too. Pay to hire adventurer. It wasn't even pay to hire first adventurer. Oh, but it wouldn't be. Strange, but it was when a customer reached the target. So maybe the customer has multiple listeners that are getting invoked. That would also be problematic. So we need to just put an item up for sale and then speed this up a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that was 4. I clicked 4 times, but I don't think it registered the third one. Or I clicked 5 times. I don't think it registered the third one. Okay, so that's got to be a problem, right? I think something's wrong with customer. Buy the item. Modify money in position. This should only get called once. Oh, I see. All right. Why are these 2 separate lines? These should be 1 line. This is why I was getting called 4 times. Because we have 2 lines here, and then we have 2 pay to hire adventurers or whatever. Is there a reason why these wouldn't be combined? They have the same money source. I don't think so. I think we just say amount plus tip value here. Oh, because modify returns something? Oh my God. What does it return? Oh, you can have a bonus percent. Oh, God. We should have a modify money no event. Well, maybe that's what we end up doing, but maybe it's just by getting this. It's only for item sales that we care about this, or at least now it's only about item sales that we care about this. But yeah, this calls set money, but we call modify money from a lot of different places, don't we? Yeah, we do. But in this case, the okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, we allow both the amount and the tip separately to go through your shiny loot ability. We probably just shouldn't do that. Yeah, we probably just shouldn't do that. Although it probably wouldn't be obvious to you that that's happening then, would it? This means that tips and the base amount can go up by 1. Even if you only have like 0.1% of a tip. Anyway, we could just leave this as is. There isn't even technically a problem here. Yeah, we'll just get multiple events for this. I would have seen different line numbers here, right? As long as that's the case, I think we're okay. So buy the item, modified money at position. Here it is. Line 567, 568. Yeah. And then 568, 567. Yeah, cool. Okay. Everything's looking good. How'd you get on with your UI mockups earlier? You're probably not gonna be happy with this, but here's what I settled on. Oh, how do I load this up? Oh, this is, well. So we've got 6 buttons that can show up in the town menu. 3 might be hidden depending on what's available in your town and kind of what they lead to, and that's it for now. So it's nothing fancy. I think eventually turning these into icons could be a good idea and just giving them tooltips. But for now, I think this is workable. It's just, it's not great. So, yeah. All right, so this is fine. It is being called 4 times. The problem is that we don't set the initial state in the dialogue. Looks like a solid solution. Well, thanks, Funky Monkey. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I think it'll work for sure for Saturday. I do think there are ways we could maybe make this a little bit better. The only really new UI that we have here is this one. And this is going to be very, very simple. Because at most, I think you could probably have 10 buildings showing here. And realistically, you'll probably have like 5 at most. So it's not going to be a super large UI or anything. All right, let's fix this issue. How do we fix it? So we get rid of all the breakpoints we have. Can we just remove them all? Yes. So I don't care about this. What I want is that when we spawn the dialogue, that it knows how to set the option. It wouldn't know how to set the higher button. But that's okay because something knows how to set it. Yeah, this does, money change. So we can just call money change right after spawning the dialogue. Pay to hire dialogue. We should set it right here. Yes, perfect. All right, money change down that money. Set the higher buttons state correctly. Do we need to do this anywhere else? Pay to hire first adventure doesn't have a show dialogue. Is there anything else where you can spend money on these things? I guess building a building. Is that a problem? I don't actually know. We know for sure that you could hire an adventurer and go negative. But maybe building a building worked the same way. We're about to find out. I build this, and then I can't build this. So it doesn't let me do that. And now it shouldn't let me hire an adventurer. But for whatever reason, it's not even showing me the hire button. Oh, is this because of the tutorial completion state? It probably is. And now nothing can set that. Well, no, loading from a game could set it. Huh, that worked. Okay, cool. So now I hit grant money, that should become enabled. Click. Cool, it is. And we click hire and it works. Nice. Yeah, so there is one tiny problem. skipping the tutorial does not set the state correctly. And I think I even know why. I think it's because we should have a mark tutorial complete function. Yeah. That's what should do this. And then we need to call this from here. Done. That should work. So we just fixed 2 bugs. We have a couple more little things we got to fix. Yeah, now hire adventurer shows up. But if we don't have the money, it should not be green. Yeah, perfect. And then when we get the money, it turns green. Yep. Neat. Oh, one thing we did not test is what happens when you... Wait. What happens when you have the money and have another adventurer you could hire because there's more than one? So I click hire. We get our first adventurer for 75. The button should not disappear. Yeah. Now we get our next one for 200, and now we get our next one for 250, and then it disappears. Perfect. All right. All right. So this was done, but it should have been done earlier. Get log -2. How do you get diff commit against and previous commit? Just type the 2 diffs. Get diff. Okay, cool. Yeah. Get diff this with this. This is the one where I added in has completed tutorial. Yeah, I diffed them in the wrong order, by the way. I meant to do it that way. Now it looks like we added things. Yeah, this is what added this in. Okay, so we can just amend the commit with this bit. Yeah. Let's hit plus. Let's amend. Good. And then this fixes this bug. Fix bug with hiring an adventurer. The button's disabled state wasn't set correctly when the dialogue first spawned. So you were able to hire an adventurer and go into the negatives and have your money go into the negatives. Whoops. Done. See if we can use has completed tutorial from another spot in the code base. Okay, let's go do that. Town has completed tutorial is here. We just need to search for this. Oh god, it shows up in a bunch of places. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Fine. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't pick up, that's okay. Really should have named this has completed tutorial, huh? Nah, it's fine. Okay, next. Make it so the quest progress panel is not absorbing mouse clicks. Yeah, is there an easier way to do this, I wonder? Automating, scene that. Oh, hey, here it is. Just call this code from anywhere after skipping the tutorial. Okay. Let's go to skip tutorial. Put this there. And then play. No, play through Godot. Now we can just change it on the fly. This should be a very simple bug to fix. Like incredibly simple. If my hunch is correct. So all we do is click this, click accept quest, and then try dragging from here. And we can't. And the way that we fix this should just be to turn off mouse click handlers on whatever that thing is called. What is that thing called? Quest progress? Yes, it is. All right, so now we look at mouse. Filter set to stop. We just set it to ignore. Done. And now you can drag from here. Oh, not the labels though. Only the panel. Whoops. That should just be set to ignore for all of these though, right? This is set to pass. pass should be fine. Huh. Oh, this is set to stop somehow. I guess because rich text labels might need it to be set to stop so that you can click links. I think we can just set it to pass and it should be fine. No, we can't. We need to set it to ignore specifically. I don't understand how this works. No, it's still not letting me click there. Do I need to save this or something? Huh, strange. It's just on the label and on the graphics. Maybe. I'm just going to say ignore on everything in here. There should be no way for it to possibly mess up now. Okay, it's working fine. I think it was the grid container that had it set to something wrong. But whatever, as long as this is working, I'm happy. All right, cool. That was it. Like I said, easy bug to fix. Stop quest progress from absorbing mouse clicks. Yeah, we don't need this code. Just got rid of it on everything. Next, your worker doesn't start moving until you built the alchemist, I think, which means that you can lose the first item. Is this true? Is this true code base? And is this a problem for some players, I wonder? So here's the issue. Your worker is not moving by default. And part of it is like, hey, you just arrived in the town and we want to show you this stuff. But then after you've clicked to hire an adventurer, you start a battle, your worker's still not moving. And that's all fine. But I think once you win the battle, your worker should move again. Because the issue is that your adventurer won't pick up this item. So without your worker moving, this will just disappear. Which causes another problem, doesn't it? Which is that the sign for the slime might appear. Yes, which means you can spend your 1 gold and now you can't earn any money to be able to build a potion shop. Oh, man. That's hilarious. It's pretty funny. Okay, so how do we fix this? Problem, your worker doesn't move until you've built your first shop. But the first item you get can disappear before then. And then there's another problem, which is not such a big deal. You can build the garbage slime before you have your first shop, which soft locks you. This doesn't soft lock you though. So solution number 1, ignore it. The player can just battle again. I don't like that idea. I think this is bad. Another solution is stop the first item from disappearing. Another solution is make the worker move as soon as you beat the first battle. And I think that's it as far as solutions go. Another one could just be like give you another item if the first disappears. But I think this is strictly worse than just not having the item disappear in the first place. So I think we X that off too. So which one of these sounds better? Well, what was the reason why I didn't make the worker move? Because I think this is what I'm leaning toward. But why didn't I do this in the first place? Because then your worker might be on top of the item. I don't know. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I think we should go with this option. All right, so the worker's stuck in some weird state. Wait for first battle to end. Oh, it's not even supposed to wait for you to build the shop. So it's just a bug. This is a dialogue that shows up. What makes them move? Transition into worker wander, but only once you build a shop. Oh, I see. AC. Because the worker has the state machine for some reason. Oh, that's not smart. Hey, there's ours. What am I working on? I'm working on, well, I'm fixing some old bugs, but then I'm working on making this UI, the town menu, have all the different actions you can perform in the game. Because one of the problems we've gotten in pretty much every checkpoint is like, I didn't know what I could do in the town because you had to scroll to find like, oh, there's a sign. And you could zoom out and maybe see them, but still, sometimes it's not obvious that like, oh, I could have interacted with that thing. I didn't realize it. Now, we can't get people in the habit of this too much because these buttons do not include garbage slime, for example. And yet the garbage slime you need to manually interact with. So you bring in an item and it pays you some money and its hunger meter goes down. And it's willing to pay you more as it gets hungrier. So this is still something you need to manually interact with. And it won't ever be a button over here. All right, so the issue is that we wait for this to have built a shop so that we can transition out of this state. What do we do when that happens? Also cancel the tween is going to lock the camera. Oh, man. I think this is a problem. Yeah. This should have never been in the worker. Ponder, build, guild, wait for first battle end, one first battle. There should have just been a wait for first battle to end. You need to be able to pick up an item. We don't want the dialogue to disappear. Dialogue data. Why do we do this? To know that you closed that dialogue. I think we got to move this code. I don't think this is worth doing now. Because I don't know what's going to own this in the future. Maybe it's just a start of game state thing. Because all the worker should care about is until, yeah, I gotta change this. I'll do that in the future then. So bug, your worker doesn't start moving until you built your first shop, but they should start moving when you've won your first battle. That way your first item can't disappear. In order to do this, we need to move. What is beginning state? It just waits for 2 seconds. And then ponder build guild just spawns a dialogue and then wait for battle ended. Yeah. Move a lot of the worker states somewhere else. That way the worker can be wandering while you have the build shop dialogue on the screen. Build shop dialogue, what is it called? Yeah, the whatever won their first battle and bound a potion. What are we selling? I'll just copy paste this. Yeah. Hey, comp. Okay, well, like I said, it does not soft lock the game, so this isn't a gigantic problem. This might be a slightly bigger problem, which is that you can spend your money beforehand. So this is just going to be file an issue for this. This is that same issue. So bug, you can buy the garbage slime and soft lock yourself. I think there's another way you can soft lock yourself. Let's try it out. Build this, build that, sure. No, I think that's the only way. It's literally just the garbage slime, and even then, you have to do a very specific set of things. I can't move the camera right now. So you'd have to have clicked the dialogue before you move the camera. Also, even if people soft lock themselves there, they would have accomplished exactly like 2 minutes of gameplay. So it's not like they're losing a ton. There are ways of... Oh, cool. I forgot about this. Oh, neat. Huh. All right, so we go into battle, we win. We don't click this. We wait for this thing to disappear, which takes 20 real seconds, except for I have this sped up a lot. And then you click this, which will move the camera, and then click build. The other way we could stop this is just by hiding this dialogue. But this eventually won't be a bug because we're going to fix the worker state, so I don't think this is worth working on. So you know what we should do? We should just file the bug right now. Workers don't move, or like your first worker doesn't move until after the first shop is built. All right, let's take this. And then the garbage slime thing we got to mention in here. It's possible to soft lock yourself by buying the garbage slime during this. Complete first battle. Don't click anything. After 20 seconds, the potion will disappear and the slime's sign will appear. Click the sign and build it. You know, another way to stop this, if we were really lazy, is just to give you 31 gold instead of 30 gold. So that you could buy this, but it wouldn't actually lock your game. And if we didn't already have another bug we were going to fix that'll address this, then it wouldn't be a problem. Oh, wait, no, it's still a problem, right? Even if we do fix that other thing? Hang on a second. Because you could just battle again. I hit start battle, I speed up, I wait for this to finish. Then I do build the shop. Oh, no, if you build the shop, though. Wait. No, wait, no, not that. Oh, God, this is so difficult. Pick your first item. Yeah. This is how you have this. You run this again. Start a battle. Then your item wouldn't disappear. This would get picked up. But you could click repeat battle and make the second one disappear. Yes, so this is a problem. So then this needs to be fixed separately. Drat. Even if the worker were picking up the item, you could still get into this state by starting another battle and having the new item disappear. Well, then they're two separate bugs. So this should probably be fixed by checkpoint 5. It's not super important though. In fact, I'll label this with like a priority 2. Actually more like priority 1. This doesn't soft lock the game. You can just battle again. Oh, that's true. The garbage slime will pay you for the items. That is very true. I forgot about that. The only problem is your camera would be locked. So we can build the Yeah, you can build the garbage slime, but you can't ever see the garbage slime. So you would have needed to zoom out before that. But yeah, we should still fix it. It just shouldn't show up until an item has disappeared and you've beaten the tutorial. Okay, so we submit this issue and then we start another one. Buying the garbage slime too soon can soft lock the game. Pre-first battle, don't click anything. After 20 seconds, the potion will disappear and the sign will appear. Complete another battle without buying the first shop or even clicking the dialogue. The worker's hands are already full. Click the sign and build it. At this point, the camera will lock you on the alchemist, but you won't have enough money to buy it. And you can't pan the camera to the slime to be able to feed it for money. This is pretty important. An easy fix for this is to just give you 101 starting gold instead of 100. But the proper way is to make it so that the slime's sign can't show until you've completed the tutorial. I'll also put this in, actually, will I put this in checkpoint 5? I will, but I don't think it's super important. Oh, this is higher priority than the other one. But we only have 0, 1, and 2, and I'm not going to say it's 0. Okay. Time to add more apples. Oh, that's true. There's an apple that spawns on this tree. Right there. And that gives you your 1 gold you need to be able to buy the potion shop. Oh man, Chef Alton, I forgot that feature even existed. Wow, what a roller coaster. Okay, I'm gonna put a comment on that. You actually can unlock yourself or unblock yourself by clicking an apple, assuming that your game window is big enough to show the apple tree. Yeah, there's literally 1 apple in the game that spawns, and it's only on this tree, and clicking it gives you 1 gold, which is just enough to let you buy your potion shop. And no idea about the apple? Yeah, it only spawns once every like 40 to 50 seconds, I think. So there it is again. We're going to eventually make more apple trees, and then eventually probably have a town perk that says like apples are now golden apples and are worth like 50 gold. But yeah, this was just supposed to give you something else you could do. You wouldn't even know you could do it though, which I think is part of the fun. You're just clicking around and it's a little Easter egg basically. Well, you'd see the apples appear on the trees, I guess. Yeah. Do they fade in? Watch this tree like a hawk. Does the apple fade in? I could just set the time to spawn to be much lower, but we're in it, and it's guaranteed to happen. Oh, it does fade in. Okay, cool. All right, so what have we done? Nothing important. All right, I filed those bugs. So now the last bug that we have is you can click start battle after starting your tutorial battle and it'll pop up the map. Is that a problem? So we click start battle and it's still there, and we can click start battle again and it'll pop up the map. You can't do anything with, oh, you can also augment the portal. Oh, that soft locks you. Whoops. Yeah, here it is. You can augment the portal before building the potion shop and prevent yourself from having enough money to build the potion shop. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Once again, fixed by apples. Man, you'd have to wait for upwards of like 10 minutes or something for apples to solve that problem. And then if you just end up using your money to augment the portal again, you'd have to wait another 25 minutes. A lot of apples. You know, another way of solving this is to just make it so that the costs of everything are, the cost of the potion shop is cheaper than augmenting the portal, and you don't have enough money to augment the portal. Couldn't wait to increase playtime. Someone on Steam complains, what is this, apple harvesting simulator? I got blocked out of buying a potion shop. Yeah, I think we should probably just hide, no, maybe not even hide the augment button. Maybe just show an error. Just show an error saying you can't do this until you built a shop. Most players are never going to do that, by the way. They might see that button. you would just get more items, right? I guess the problem is you might be looking over here and you have no way to sell them. Yeah. No, that is another thing we could do is just unlock the camera after some amount of time. And that way you'd be able to go to the garbage slime and be able to click apples. But whatever, we'll fix that later. I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about this. All right, next task. Make the quest button. What did I conclude about this? We want a special quest dialogue. Yeah, and a special enchanter dialogue. File tasks from here about the special quest and enchanter dialogues. Or enchanter UIs, not dialogues. I like this idea. I think it's cool. I like the quest thing showing up too. And Kevin was always talking about doing that. But what did we conclude about the quest button? Have a single button for quest. Clicking it would center the camera on the tavern. It would be green when you have an available quest. Yeah. Hey, Eddie. Why do you use Google Docs for your docs? Why not Markdown? I do use Markdown as well. I use a lot of different things. I think there's a why Google Docs. Or maybe it's just Google Docs. Yeah. Hey again, Dan. All right. So quest button, this should only show up after you have the tavern. Only show the button after you built the tavern. Okay, let's get to it. I want to get done with the quest button for sure. I don't know about the buildings button today. Yeah, let's just do the quest button. Because like I said, I don't mind this taking into Wednesday. I think we get done with all this stuff on Wednesday. That should be doable. All right, so over to the town menu. Did we have an order for this? Where's my mock-up? Quests were toward the bottom. I think we should rearrange buildings and quests. Oh, quests always shows up though. Yeah. Okay, fine. It'll go next. So we duplicate this and we call this the quest button. Now the question is this pluralized or not? Because you technically only ever have one quest at a time. Let me think about this. No, I think I'm going to call it quest. View quest. I want to keep this succinct, but also you might not be on a quest yet. So you might actually be accepting a quest. I guess it's all going to turn into an icon eventually anyway. Yeah, I shouldn't be thinking about this too much. Okay, so tooltip. Center the view on the tavern to view or accept a quest. To see quest progress or accept a new quest. I don't know, even that tooltip should probably be changed eventually, but that's good enough for now. All right, so now we have the quest button. Now we need the town menu to do stuff. So quest button. Let's get this thing in here. When you press it, what's going to happen? It's just going to center the camera. Press quest or like center on tavern. Yeah. I wrote some code to do this with the shop. How did I do that? Pan camera, pan and zoom, pan and location over time. There we go. You need to make it able to access as unique or whatever. Oh, when I copied the button, it copied that property too. But yes, I do. All right, so now it's underscore town.camera.pan a location. And the location we pan to is the tavern's location. Tavern.global position, I think. Dereference a possibly null value, except for it's not null, because you shouldn't have this button unless you have the tavern. Okay, so we're going to go try this out. It could also be the position of the tavern sign, but that might disappear. Yeah, let's try this. I should probably write down what the other tasks are. Where are the other tasks? Also, how long did I stream for in the morning? 3 hours and 20 minutes. Okay. Make the quest button. Only show this once you have the tavern. And make it green when you don't have a current quest. And what else did I say? Have a single button, only show it after you build the tavern. Clicking it would center the camera. It would be green when we have an available quest. Yeah, I guess there. Center the camera on the tavern when clicking the button. Okay. So we need the tavern. Click, click, and now we have the tavern. Now we move away from the tavern and we click quest. It's not so bad when it's closer to where you need to be. But yeah, if you're super far away and you're like really zoomed in, I guess it only moves so fast. Oh man. That's a little dizzying. Also, it's centering on the upper left of this. We want to center it like there. Actually, we want to probably... Oops. Oh, God. Hang on a second. I got to do this stuff again. There. Can you make it zoom out, move, zoom back to what the zoom level was? Yeah, I could. I never thought about that. It's an interesting idea. So you'd be zoomed in over here. It would actually zoom out and then pan the camera and then zoom in. Huh. I like it. We'll add that as a task. Okay. Yeah, less dizzying for sure. So thank you for the suggestion. All right, so wait, why did I restart this? Oh yeah, because you couldn't accept a quest. Now you can. So this is where it should zoom roughly to. It's pretty much just the center of the tavern, right? Yeah. So how do we do that? This plus town.tavern.size, I think we have. Get size divided by 2. No, except for, yeah, that should work. Maybe we should just have like a get center point. Alternatively, we could just center the tavern in the scene that it's in. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. All right, so when we click this, it should go to the center of this. Yep, and if I'm zoomed in, nice. All right, neat. The thing I like about this is that it's just showing you this is like an in-world thing already. Eventually, we won't even probably need this button unless you have a quest available, because we're going to have a UI show up maybe up here somewhere with just these things in a consolidated form. So I think it'll be pretty easy to tell what's going on. But this makes it very easy to tell what's going on because we're eventually going to highlight it green and it'll indicate you don't have a quest. So if I do this and then this would be green right now because I don't have the quest. Should I, maybe when it is green and you click it, rather than just center the camera here, maybe you can also pop this up. Quest, someone's offering a small magic orb. And you click accept and then it pops this thing open. That would probably be good. Let's do that. Pop up the quest dialog and center the camera on the tavern. when clicking the button while it's green. Kind of cool to have to go to the building and see the quest info rather than have it docked and floating over the world to the left. Makes the world seem more interactive. It does, and I like that, but I also think, well, this is close enough to the rest of stuff where, yeah, peering at it every once in a while is okay. The other thing is that this is an in-world entity. Like, if you grant a bunch of items and then add workers, they will walk over here with the items to drop them off. So, like, this is a thing that exists in the world, and I think having you look at it is kind of nice, but at the same time, you probably just want to know how far along on your quest are you. The other thing, by adding this up here, it's going to always be very obvious when you don't have a quest. There is one reason not to have a quest, which is that any of these items could have turned into money, and they don't turn into money when you have a quest. So, like, I don't know how much that potion is worth. We're about to find out. I think it's 15. Yeah. So that's 30 gold I did not get by turning them in as quest items. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why you wouldn't want one. And so when we put it in your face like this, it's going to be like, oh, the button's green. I'm supposed to click green buttons because this Skinner box is telling me to do that. And you're going to get more powerful as a result of that. And quests were intended to be a way to make the game less difficult. But I don't know how to tell the player that. Like, hey, just so you know, the game can be beaten without ever doing quests. If you want a hard mode, then just don't do quests. But that's a very minor problem. I think if players are having fun, it doesn't matter what the difficulty level is. All right, well, this is done. Next, only show this once you have the tavern. Yeah, let's go do that. Do we have any way of telling you that you've built the tavern? Create tavern. No, nothing gets invoked here. Just did 8,000 steps in the last hour. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Hard mode, catch it on fire. Hard mode, you get the garbage slime when you shouldn't have. It eats the tavern. Then you have to pick apples to get the money to build a shop. People always invent their own difficulties and challenges if they have the ability to. Yeah, and I like that about games. I feel like people have been doing that since the beginning of gaming, either with high scores or with speed runs or with some kind of restrictions that you place on yourself, which is kind of a speed run if you think about it. But restrictions in terms of like, don't use X item or don't level up more than you have to. Something like that. Obviously, you can do this in any game. You can add your own arbitrary restrictions. People even do it in terms of like, use a controller with your feet or something. Like there's every restriction you could imagine. But I think exposing some of these through the game is a good idea too. And I think that's where achievements come in. People don't use their feet. There's a Smash 64 combo contest. By the way, if anyone's into Smash Bros and hasn't heard of this, this is like the coolest thing. Let me see if I can find the videos. Yeah, these videos. I'll just link the query on YouTube directly, but these are really impressive. Just really, really impressive. The short story is people spend, I don't know, hours, weeks just perfecting a certain combo that is very finicky because it's on the N64 and there were a lot of little variables that go into this. And then they've got some number of attempts, I don't know, 10 attempts or something that they can try to pull off this combo in front of a live audience. And yeah, the ones that manage to do it, it's so cool. They're very creative. They're very fun to watch. There's some cool little gimmicks that people add in. And yeah, one guy did a combo with only his feet, I think. Or he was controlling two controllers maybe at once, and one was with his feet and one with his hands. I don't know. Either way, it's entertaining. All right, so we don't have anything about creating a tavern. We'll need that. Do we have something about building a building? No, we don't. A lot of fun. Oh, I wasn't necessarily recommending specifically for you, Dan. If you're into Smash content already and you've never heard of this, it's worth a watch. If you're not into Smash, it's going to mean nothing to you. And if you've already heard of it and you've seen them, then you've seen them before and you already know if you like it. So we'll make this here. Built tavern. Oh, there's built a shop. There's no built tavern. Built. How about build the tavern? I like that. All right, now in the bottom of this, we do this thing, invoke. And then inside the town menu, we listen for that. We have to go to ready. There we are. Want to listen? Oh no, we do it in a init. What am I doing? Yeah. Town.built the tavern. Yeah, I guess it's really just show the quest button. We don't need a special thing for this. Okay, there, that's that. Oh, that means we need to hide it by default. Quote, well, I already knew we wanted to do that. Good job, AI. Save me like 3 seconds. AI is too strong. I'd never heard of Google VO until just like yesterday. And it's pretty impressive. It's the Google equivalent of Sora. Well, I think they're on VO2 now or something like that. So it's a bunch of AI produced video, but it looks pretty good. I'd love to be able to try this sort of thing. They had some way of signing up or whatever. I didn't look into that. But it'd be nice if they just had a prompt somewhere and they let you make like 2 videos per day. I think it'd be cool to mess around with. Also, I think there's something to be said for putting AI in people's hands, even if it's supposed to cost money. I mean, this is pretty much how a lot of free products work, is give you some usage, then realize that you like it, and then you pay for more usage. But also, it's just, here's a thing you're not even sure you would have liked or wanted. So making it be at least partially free, I think is good. Have you seen Whisk? I don't know. What is Whisk? Evolve your image creation. Oh, I think I used whatever this probably was when I worked at Google, and it was probably called something different. But that was a while ago now. Yeah, I don't see any. I mean, they don't say what this used to be named or named internally. Yeah, so it's hard to know if I did use this, but pretty interesting. You can give it a base, a theme, and many subject images. Okay, I didn't do that. Yeah, it's insanely good. Man, this stuff is super cool. I mean, like I said, as someone who doesn't know how to do any of this stuff myself, like I can't draw. I can't. I mean, I guess I can make videos, but I'm not a good videographer or anything. It's cool to feel like you have that ability. And for a while, if you think about it, that's kind of what games did, right? They'd give you abilities you didn't have. You could play as a magical warrior or something like that. And you can fight aliens. You can, whatever you can envision, it can be done. And now AI is letting us do that in the real world. You don't have art skills? Bam, now you have art skills. Sad, but also insane. Yeah, there's an app called Procreate, which is a manual art tool. And apparently they've taken some stance that they're not going to put AI features into their app. And I think artists are happy about that. But there's going to be some next generation of artists who is unhappy about that and who's like, where are my AI features? Like, I don't want to have to, whatever, shade this or color this or outline this or animate this. It's going to be a crazy future. Like, I can fight them in real life too. I'd probably lose, but I could fight them. The thing is, you can't fight them. You'd have to get to them first. Unless you're going to reverse WoW signal them. Send them get wrecked, noob. I think this is working now that we're only showing this once we have the tavern. Let's try it out. There's an audio generator there too. Hey, Dexter. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. I think Google's stock just like shot up for some reason. I'm not totally sure why. But yeah, if you look at the last year of Google stock, it started at about 140-ish and now it's at like 190-ish. Some pretty good return on investment. Speaking from someone who got paid in a lot of Google stock. All right, so we start with the tavern because I'm a dummy, but let's not start with the tavern, and then I'll be a smarty. And there we go. Smile got bigger. I mean, I knew about this because I already searched for it, but I didn't realize how big of a jump it was. Man, there's an analogy that I've always liked, which is if you're working for a company that pays you in a partial amount of stock, I mean, let's say whatever, that you make $100 and they're like, we're going to give you $20 of stock. To envision it like someone came up with a burlap sack of money and said, hey, here's $20, but you can only spend it on that company's stock. If you would do that, then you should keep the stock. If you wouldn't do that, then you should sell the stock. And that is why I plan on selling some stock. All right, so we don't have the button up here, but if I build the tavern, we should get the button. Perfect. And now we have the quest thing here. So that is now done. Next is make it green when you don't have a quest. So we need to track whether you've accepted a quest or whether you have finished a quest. Sounds like you're holding for a while. I only quit last year, so it's not, hasn't been too long. It's not insider trading if I'm on the outside. That's called outsider trading. Not illegal. I should probably make this clear. I really don't have any inside knowledge. I said that the stock went up and I was totally clueless as to why. I assume it has to do with AI stuff, because I imagine the other businesses are probably stable enough. All right, so we have quest completed here. What calls this? Oh, the tavern has a signal on quest completed. We also need to know when a quest has been accepted. Do we know that? On quest completed. We don't have on quest accepted, do we? Where do we start a quest? Option press, here it is. Quest accepted. That's it. We don't do anything. Yeah. All right. Well, we need to do that. One thing I regret is not pushing for stocks. 100 million pounds. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. These are the kinds of things that I hope don't keep you up at night. I still always think about the Zachtronics guy and Infiniminer and Minecraft. And the short story for people who haven't heard is he made what was essentially the foundation for Minecraft, but it was kind of a flop. And then Notch looked at it and said, hey, what if I just took the good parts and made Minecraft and made $2.5 billion? And yeah, the Zachtronics guy said that he was pretty bitter about it for a while and eventually accepted it. But man, you think about what your life would look like with $2.5 billion more than what you have. That's, you could buy a lot of M&Ms with that. Maybe all of the M&Ms. Maybe there wouldn't be a single M&M you don't own on the planet. Okay, so we're going to need a signal here that tells you that the quest is accepted. Unless that quest does that, which I doubt because I didn't see anything here. Wait, quest itself has something? Just has on progress updated. Yeah, I don't think we need, I think we just need it in the tavern. Okay, so on quest accepted. And we do this inside of set quest. Load from save data calls this as well, which means you'll know that a quest was accepted when you load from save data. That might be fine, it might not be. Hey, Genesis. We're gonna do this, invoke this here. Yeah. All right, so now we need listeners in the town menu, and we can get this stuff not quite right from the tavern. We need to know, we need to pass in the tavern so that we can save a reference to it, because otherwise this thing won't exist and we can't listen for it. Yep, that's correct. Okay, well, built the tavern. We'll get invoked with the tavern then, huh? Oh, alternatively, we could just access it from here. We don't need to pass it in. Okay. It's a lot of events. Yeah, there's a lot of, yeah, use a lot of events as a main way of decoupling classes here. Yeah, the games that they made, I think, are really good. I don't think I've played many of them. Maybe only one. I'm not even sure. But I like the ideas. I like the concepts. The reviews are pretty good. All right, so this can't happen. This needs to be a built the tavern kind of thing. And then we generate this method. Put this here. Delete this and move it down to the bottom. All right, so now we can get the town tavern and listen to stuff. Town.tavern.onQuestAccepted. So on quest accepted, we are not going to hide the button. We're just going to make it modulate equals white. And on quest completed, set it to green. And I guess set it to green to begin with. There. Cool. So let's test that out. That should be done. Oh, green. That's supposed to be light green. All right, well, ignore the specific shade of green while we test this. It is going to be green. It's supposed to be the wrong color green. Yeah, I accidentally messed that up. All right, so as soon as we create the tavern, we should see a green, the wrong shade. We should see a green button show up. Yep. It's a very bright green. Excuse me. Then when we accept a quest, so if I click this, it should go white. Oh, darn it. It didn't because I broke something. Give me a sec. Skip tutorial. Yeah, this. Yeah, I cannot take any credit for that. But the people in the credits can take credit for it. We'll try this one more time. So we start with the tavern. It is now light green. We click accept quest and it turns white. And then we need to complete the quest, which unfortunately there's no quick way of doing this. We just need to grant a bunch of items and hope that we get the quest items we want. I'll speed it up a bit. Just need 1 million workers. We should also probably get these other things. Yeah. Build. Add some customers, grant some more items. All right, how many potions do we need? Like 6 green ones. Oh, we're getting it. And now that button should turn green as soon as it's done. We didn't get enough potions. We're just watching this button. It's about to happen. Missing one more. Come on. Grant items. There, I'll just drag it here myself. Done. It turned green. Cool. That indicates that you have a quest. So there's only one more task to do here, and it's pop up the quest dialog and center the camera when the button is green and you click it. So what spawns that dialog? The tavern itself? The tavern itself. There should be a click handler somewhere. I don't see it. Oh, bulletin board. There it is. Okay. Ain't worried about it being pretty. I don't think programmer art is usually good. I think we can say that it serves a purpose, but rarely is the programmer art good, or else it would just be art. My art is very bad. Yes, please remind everybody with my wonderful Adam art. All right, so I want to do this. How did we do this for the guild master? We listened for, we listened in standby, I want to say. Now we were listening in the correct state. Oh, this won't work, will it? Oh, this won't. This is going to listen for this no matter what. We only care that you were in the standby state when you do this. And that's not what this is checking. Oh, this is not smart. Yeah, so here's what we need to do. We need to change this to enter, doing this, and then leave, doing this. There. The placeholder art for many, many years. They just allowed texture packs and resource packs and called it a day. What was the placeholder art? I haven't heard about this. Placeholder texture. Huh. Yeah, I don't see anything. Oh, just the original block textures? They worked though. Like I can't think of a block that looked bad, I guess. Dirt looked like dirt, grass looked like grass, the trees looked like trees. I guess I don't know what they should look like, but I always thought that was part of the aesthetic of Minecraft. Okay, well anyway, I just figured out that there was a small problem that we just fixed, but I want to listen to clicked quest button from here, I guess. Yeah. So we're going to need that as an event. Clicked quest button. We're going to call that from here. Clicked quest button dot invoke. Then put this in the right function. So we're going to pan to that location, but then the tavern itself is going to possibly open up its own dialogue. We have this town thing here, so we're going to do this. Town.menu.clicked quest button plus equal, what do we call this? On clicked bulletin board. Except for not that, because it's only in the case that you're not on a quest that I want to do this. So what should be responsible for handling this? Not the town menu. That's an implementation detail. Okay, so then in the tavern. Oh, fine. So we need this like clicked town menu quest button. And this is going to be this code. If the quest is null, display the greeting box. We could call this. No, just whatever. Leave it. That's fine. All right, let's try it. The only change we just made, as far as I know, is that clicking the quest button will center the camera on the tavern either way, but when it's green, it will also pop up the dialogue. So if I click this, it should center the camera and pop up that dialogue. Yeah, I can dismiss it. I can do that from over here. Yeah, nice. If I click it again, it should just pop up the same dialogue. Yeah. So now I accept it, and now clicking it will only center the camera because you're already on a quest, so you just need to be able to see your progress. All right, pretty good. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all the tasks I had for that. Done and done, yeah. All right, let's go check it in. Looking good, looking good. Not looking good. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, this is all pretty straightforward. This is the town menu, right? Yeah, that's fine. Just thinking about lifetime of event listeners. Oh, and then this is a separate issue that I should check in on its own. Fix possible bug in Guildmaster state. Oh, doesn't this mean this is probably a bug somewhere else too? Possibly. How do we search for that? We go into the state machine code, which is where I hopefully am. Yes. And then search for town.star plus equals slash, and do you need to escape the equals? You don't. All right, so one of these might have a problem. Let's look at them. There's no way this is a good idea. Oh, I see. We subtract it from here. Okay, guess that technically works. So fine. Just didn't see it in the leave command. Yeah, that's fine too. And what about this one? Town.money change plus equal money change. Yeah, this is a bad idea as well. Also, we overrode leave to do nothing? Well, 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 well. Doesn't really matter where we put this, I guess. But it does matter that we put this here. And then turn it to a minus equals and delete all of this. So now pay to hire adventure dialog has the same thing. Fix possible bugs in state machine states. Oops, I pressed escape. Hey, Goose. Feel like that position tween is too slow? Yeah, what Joker Dan suggested is that we zoom out and then pan and then zoom in. Because we have a couple of different states. One is you're right next to the thing and you click center. And then it's decent. It's not too dizzying. It's really dizzying when you click from like way over here and you're zoomed in. So I don't like this. I don't like that one bit. But if you're zoomed out and you're way over there, then it's also still pretty much fine. Like this isn't dizzying to me. So yeah, I think we just need to zoom out. Oh, that's also a bug. Never saw that before. Yeah, doesn't clamp when it pans. Add another task. The camera can go out of bounds when panning. Zoom out all the way. Click the quest button and witness the gray area. The gray area. Yeah, this should help. This should help. This should also stop it from calling this thing like 4 times. This is a much smarter way of doing things. We should never be listening and ready, is what I have now realized. And in fact, I probably should change that remaining code here. Yeah, the build a shop stuff is happening on enter. So the opposite of this should happen on leave. And that way there's no way for you to get done with this and have a problem, right? Yeah, we transition right on this anyway. Yep. Public override leave. Now, get rid of that, which should be good. Hidden loot room. You just need to wrong warp your way to it. All right, I think we're good. We should only be subscribing or unsubscribing in the enter and leave functions. By subscribing in ready, there's no guarantee that we're even in the state at the time the event is hit. All right, so that's check-in number 1. Check-in number 2, we already, I think, validated. Yeah. Add quest button to town menu. It centers the camera on the tavern and indicates when you have an available quest. Cool. Not too bad, not too bad. Where's the mock-up? Oh, here. Yeah, so the next thing that we would do, and I don't think I'm going to do this right now, but we would add in the buildings button. And this would only show up when you have an available. How about this? Let's come up with what the tasks are. Should only show up when a sign is present in town, indicating that something can be built. Or upgraded, I guess. Right? I think you would care about that. Like, you can get the enchanter, that's building it, and now this is upgrading it. And same thing with the warehouse. You can build the warehouse, and then you can upgrade it and add more storage to it. Does the slime count as a building? Yes. Yeah, it's a little weird to call it buildings then. I see. Is contextually appearing buttons preferred over constant but possible disabled buttons? So in one case, yes, definitely. And in the case when I want there to be something hidden, Like, I don't even want you to know that there is a quest system in the game until there is the quest system in the game. And what we could do is we could change the text to be like question mark, question mark, question mark. You have to unlock this. That could potentially work. But either way, I don't want you to even know that certain functions exist. But then, yeah, once you know the function exists, like you know there's a building system in the game, then yeah, it is potentially better to just not have it be conditional. Because yeah, all the yellow, oh, it's not there anymore. Anyway, all the conditional buttons are hidden when they're not needed. So for example, if you hire an adventurer and then there are no more other adventurers, the button just goes away. We could just outright disable it. But yeah, that I don't know. Ski, do you have a suggestion for what we should call this thing if not for buildings? Maybe like town upgrades? Town fixtures? It's too technical sounding. No, because town upgrades would make you probably get confused with the perk system. Because these are upgrades that you buy. I think we just call it buildings and maybe instead of saying garbage slime, it's like the garbage slime's podium. I don't know. Warehouse stands are not buildings either. What do we call this stuff? Some of these are definitely buildings. Like the armor shop is a building. The enchanter den is not really a building, I guess. The vault isn't also really a building. I think I'm still just going to use the word buildings anyway until we can come up with something better. Because at the very least, it's just a label on a button. Later on, they'll have walls. Should we even add walls, though? Maybe for some of this stuff. I'm not sure. I need to see what it looks like. Because to me, like this looks fine because the shop stall is the building and it doesn't need walls. The vault and the warehouse, maybe they do need walls. I'm not sure. We need to make sure they don't look weird. Anyway, should only show up when a sign is present in town. Note the slime and any upgrades to buildings aren't really buildings per se, but I can't think of a better term. Yep, that's as good as I've got. All right, next, we need to make the panel. That panel. And it's not even just buildings. I guess there's the UI part of it, but then there's also whenever a building or upgrade becomes available, I guess like make the available buildings UI. Whenever building or upgrade becomes available, add it to the available buildings UI. And maybe stop the available buildings UI from showing when another full screen UI is showing. Not sure how that'll feel. Split them down a little. So monuments for the slime, stands for the shop and warehouse, buildings for the building. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't have an idea, but also I don't think it's super high priority, so we'll have to see how it feels. Hope you don't mind me asking here. I saw in your FAQ that you're from Seattle, and I was thinking about taking a little trip there next year. Everyone I've asked IRL has said that it isn't very safe, but I didn't think it was like that at all. Would you recommend someone travel there? I'd be solo, which I'm very comfortable with. So Seattle itself is not just like a small area. I consider sort of the greater Seattle area. Is Seattle proper safe? I really don't have any idea. I'm not in Seattle proper, and every time I go, I don't feel like safety is a concern for me. Granted, I'm a guy. I don't know if you're a guy. I assume you are. Oh, the name Carson. But and you said you're generally comfortable. So I guess I would just say this. If something feels sketchy, probably avoid it. But otherwise, I don't think there's any like major things you need to worry about. Also, like I said, there's the greater Seattle area is pretty big. And if you're concerned about Seattle itself, there are surrounding towns that I'd say are pretty safe. But yeah, maybe look up some crime statistics or like what's in the recent news. Because there's a mall, what's it called? Alderwood Mall. I just want to make sure this isn't going to show something private for me. Anyway, there's a mall called Alderwood Mall, and I guess you'd probably say Linwood is part of the greater Seattle area. And there was actually a shooting at this mall. And as far as I understand, it was like a very isolated event, and a teenage girl was killed. She was not even involved in the altercation; just like a stray bullet caught her, as far as I understand. Anyway, I don't know if you'd hear a news story like that and be like, "Oh, this is an unsafe mall to visit," but I've never felt that going to this mall. And I assume it's the same sort of thing happening in Seattle, where it's like, if you're not, purposely trying to wander into shady areas, then I think you'll probably be fine. Hey, Sangamed. And hey, Tech Workbench, do you cross the border often? You mean go to Vancouver or something? Not really, no. I've only been to Vancouver once, and I went at possibly the worst time of year to go, which was in October or November, whatever year it was. And it was even grayer than Seattle was. It was like raining nonstop. I live in Seattle proper, never had an issue. Pick a neighborhood that isn't downtown though. There's not much to do there in the evening. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for chiming in, Campbell Soup. Yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't experienced this stuff myself. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's even come close to that. Not really. Yeah, I don't think so. I guess I've run into some scammers in Seattle, but that could happen anywhere. Anywhere is more or less safe than anywhere else. I feel safe where I live, and someone got stabbed Christmas Day one street over from me. Gun crime in UK, yeah. I think there are places that are probably less safe. I just, I don't know if Seattle qualifies to that extent. Like, what's that place? Gary, Indiana? Is that the place that everybody hates? At least on Reddit, people talk about it a lot. Yeah, like that. I don't know what the crime rate is. 36 per 1,000 residents, has one of the highest crime rates in America. Huh. 1.7 times greater than the US average. Yeah. By the way, there are places in my life I felt unsafe, but generally it's like a particular street or an alleyway or something like that. Or we were warned a lot before going to Brazil that like phone theft is a gigantic thing. I don't think I was unsafe exactly, but I was definitely very wary about my phone then. If you think about it, it's like carrying a $500 bill around with you, just something that could easily be taken from your hand. Summer's pretty nice around Vancouver. Try to drive up again. Yeah, I think if it were not November, I think I'd have a very different opinion. Also, it's not like it was bad. It's just we didn't really get to see anything because the sun rose at 11:01 and then set at 11:02, and then it was just rainy. It wasn't that bad, but it was pretty dark. All right, whenever it becomes available, do that. Whenever you build a building, remove it from the available buildings UI. Hey, Kikarino. I've had no issues in Seattle for the most part. Then I got lived in South London too. I don't know anything about South London. Is that generally a bad place to live? Yeah, by the way, that's another thing about Seattle. A lot of people talk about the weather, but they don't sort of understand what it means. I would say it is like lightly raining most of the non-summer months. It's not really ever a heavy rain, and you can't really count on a lot of sunny days outside of summer. So if you do want sun, if you want it to seem like a dreamland, then visit in the summertime. Also, my vote is for spring being the most beautiful time of year here. A lot of people who visit from elsewhere say that Seattle it's just super green, it's really nice. That's true of really all the Pacific Northwest, but man, spring is something else. And a lot of people, since there's so much tech in the area and people generally have more money, they care about their landscaping and there's just like gorgeous flowers and trees everywhere. It's amazing. Call it stuff. Look up iPhone 16 price in Brazil so you understand why to be careful down there. Oh, I trust that it's expensive, but I also think, I mean, phone theft is apparently like rampant. In fact, the reason we went to Brazil, our Brazilian friends, one of those Brazilian friends had his phone stolen, I think 2 or 3 times. He lived there. So yeah, I think it's apparently worth commenting on. Oh yeah, cherry blossoms. If you like cherry blossoms, University of Washington has a whole bunch cherry blossoms. Although it's super crowded. I think cherry blossoms are generally early March. But like look at that video. That is amazing. Yeah, I love cherry blossoms. We have some neighbors who have some, and that way I can just like look out my window and see pink trees, which always makes me feel like I'm living in a fantasy world. Oh, by the way, we're done with the journal now. I think we got enough of these tasks written down. Should show when a sign is present, which means it should hide when a sign is not present. Should hide when a sign is not present. We should probably make a function that will show only a single sign. So we can test this. Oh, by the way, one other thing, as long as I'm not forgetting this, Pike Place is worth visiting. There are very few touristy things that I would go to as a local. Like I'm not going to go to the Space Needle as a local, but I will still go to Pike Place. So it's definitely worth it as an outsider. So make sure that's on your list. It's like the only thing I tell people to do if they come to Seattle. All right, so we put this down here. Yep. Make sure it's on there. Yeah. The new waterfront is really nice. Yeah, I think my wife went recently and she said it's been really good. And there's some like walking path. I haven't been myself though. I haven't been there myself. Oh yeah, hints button. This is the last little bit of stuff we need to write down here. And I don't think I have anything written except for maybe in the scratch section. Unlocked the explorer and lost a boss battle. We can show the hint thing in the actions. If you eventually win that battle, you don't want to show it. Yeah, that's the only bit that I wanted to keep track of here. Unlock the explorer and you've lost a boss battle. We can show the hint thing in the actions. Hints button. If you eventually win that boss battle, we'd probably hide that a hint is available since you wouldn't care about it and wouldn't want it to constantly show up. And then clicking the button should either center the camera on the explorer, open their dialogue, or both. All right. Yeah, especially the building stuff, I think. Ooh, well, I'm pretty happy with this. This is the task I was most daunted by, and I'm glad we've started working on it. And also, we're about halfway through it, probably. I mean, the building stuff might take an entire day. That's still fine. I don't care if this takes all of Wednesday. But then we got to start working on this stuff. Yeah. And none of this individually should be too hard, except for balance. Balance is going to be really hard. And we're trying to target January, what did I say, 17th? Calendar, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Yeah, 17th. Can I add a new event here? Where does it get saved? Skeleseller v0.5. I don't know where this goes. I think it's the only time I've ever made an event on an Apple calendar. I use Google Calendar for my stuff. But yeah, that lets me just see this at a glance without having to do anything. Yeah, so we have the rest of this week, the rest of the next week, and then this will be crunch time. And on the 4th and the 11th, I want to do user experience studies. So I've asked some friends. I have at least one person who's confirmed, and I have like 4 other people I can ask. So I'm gonna try to get at least one of them. It goes on your blue calendar. Oh, thank you. I don't want to hook this up to my Google Calendar because I don't want to show any personal stuff. And my Google Calendar is like filled with things. So I want to be very careful about that. Are you an employee or a streaming entrepreneur? The latter. Yeah. I just before this worked at Google, but the before this was 2023, end of 2023. So in a few days, I'm going to say, yeah, that was 2 years ago, but it's really like 15 months or something. All right, I'm pretty happy with this stuff. I am very happy, one might say. I'll probably try to do some work tomorrow. My schedule's been a little bit weird because my wife has been on vacation. And I just found out she has most of this week off too. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress today. I mean, like I said, this town menu, a couple of these things didn't exist before, and now they do. What was the other thing we added? There was one more. Oh yeah, the hire adventurer thing. I don't have an easy way of showing that, but anyway, trust that it's there. So let's find somebody to raid, and I'll be back on Wednesday. Who is? Oh no, it's Viriforia. I was just saying I was gonna find someone to raid. Raid stack, my bad. No, it's not your bad. I feel bad. I think we end at pretty much the same time as one another, so there's no kind of easy way to coordinate this. I don't know if you tune into the stream ahead of time to try to see is he ending or something. Hey, too, Bob. Anyway, for anyone who did just come in here, I'm working on the same thing I'm always working on, and Spherophoria has been kind enough to raid us many times, so you've probably already seen the game, but it's Skeleseller. We are working toward the next launch on January 17th. So it is a mere 2.5 weeks away, 2.75 weeks. So I hope you'll be around for that. If you do want to check it out, there's the link. Spherophoria, I hope you had a good stream. I'm sorry to have to pass off your folks to somebody else. I've been so jealous of everyone this week and last with their time off. Work has been extra harsh for me. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean, even I took some time off. Things are tight if you're talking about quarter weeks and scheduling. If you're flaking about quarter weeks, scheduling. They're not actually that tight. I think it's fine. Just trying to be more specific. What is this? I don't know what Acerola is. What? What should I be searching for to find this? Because it's showing up with like cherries or something. Oh, a YouTuber. Oh. Oh, interesting. I wonder if I've seen this person's videos. All right, well, Spherophoria, how about this? Was there someone else you wanted to raid? Because you should get first choice. No, all up to you. But I don't want it to be up to me. I don't like making this decision. How about I go raid Spherophoria, who's still showing on my list. Take care too, Bob. All right, well, let's go figure out somebody else then. I'll open up the little raid widget thingy. Raid channel. Okay, filter by tag, English. All right, who we got that I have not rated before? Why is it? It's finding like cyberpunk streamers. I don't think I've ever rated a cyberpunk streamer before. All right, let's rate this person. They're working on Godot as well. Yeah, Captain Anosa. Coincidentally, the person I just found through this. The raid finder thingy. How do I go to their stream? There we go. Alrighty, let's click that raid button. All right, thank you all for watching. I'll be back on Wednesday. Like I said, it's been a good stream. I hope you all enjoyed. If you want to, you can wishlist Skeleseller on Steam. I think I already linked that in. And that's it for me. Take care, everyone. I will see you later.